Welcome back. It's an immersive theater experience like no other. We Players produces shows outdoors that play through the landscape. Their latest production is Macbeth at Fort Point. Today we meet the star of the show, Ava Roy, who is playing Macbeth, and we also meet Anne, who is playing Lady Macbeth. So nice to meet you, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thank you so much for being here. So this is a very unique version of Macbeth. Tell us a little bit about Macbeth at Fort Point.
Well, yes, Fort Point is the Civil War fortress underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a national park site, and We Players has been partnering with the National Park Service on and off since 2008. So we're celebrating our 25th anniversary of the company this year with a return to Fort Point, and the audience is immersed inside the world of Macbeth's Scotland. So they're on their feet, they're traveling throughout the fortress, they're following their captains on specific routes through the space. Sometimes they're traveling separately to get to the same location, sometimes they're seeing things in different orders, but things are happening all around the audience at all times. Above, behind, below, there's live music, and there's a pretty large cast, so there's also a lot of opportunity to stage little details and vignettes and pieces of the story that are often not seen, that the audience gets to catch a glimpse of as they're traveling throughout the space. For example, we have the famous lady washing her hands at the end of the play, but audiences who are paying careful attention as they transition from scene to scene might catch little details throughout as they travel.
Okay, wonderful. It sounds so unique and so immersive. This sounds absolutely wonderful. Now, Anne, I want to ask you a little bit about your relationship here, because that's an important part of this. So tell me how long y'all have known each other.
Yes, so 30 years now. I directed Ava as Juliet when she was 13 years old. And we promised each other a long time ago we would find a way to work together again. And so I actually am based in London in the UK. And when she told me she was doing Macbeth this spring, I said, do you have a lady? I could take some time and come. And I also feel like I'm here as sort of like artistic support blanket for Ava as well, because she's wearing all the hats. So directing, producing, playing the title character. So yeah, so it's really, I'm so excited to be here for this.
And what fun for y'all to be able to do this together. This seems like a great time.
It's incredibly special, and I learned basically everything I've been making up and experimenting on and riffing on ever since working with Anne. So sometimes you get that pivotal foundational training when you don't expect it, from age 13 to 15, and I pretty much have been working with the foundations that I learned from Anne ever since.
Fabulous. All right. Now, this is an all-female cast in this version of Macbeth. Can you tell us why that's important and how that came to be?
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that how it came to be is that I'm pretty expansive with my casting. In fact, I actually played Henry V when I was 18 years old. And so I think early on I learned that anybody can play anybody. And actually in Shakespeare's time it was all men playing the roles. And so they were playing the female characters. And so right now we just have kind of reversed that, where it's all women playing all of the roles, although we're maintaining the pronouns, the characters who are masculine in the play, and it's just female characters. Part of that grew out of the audition process, and just choosing the people that I felt would best resonate with the roles, and then there's this kind of alchemy of putting the whole cast together. But I think, you know, another piece of the puzzle is celebrating women and women's voices, and there's also a number of non-binary folks in the cast, and just, you know, this is a very potent moment to be doing this play. I wish the themes of this play would go out of style and no longer be relevant, but unfortunately they don't, and it's perhaps even more profound a moment to be staging this play that has so much to do with power and ambition and a totalitarian regime, and I think just celebrating people who are often the minority in cast, especially a play like this. So it's really special. The other piece is that we work really hard to choose an ensemble that's not only very talented, but also extremely tenacious and extremely loving, because the fort is no joke. It's very intense, it's very cold, it's very windy, and people need to really have a degree of resilience and a deep degree of care for each other in order to sort of survive something as physically and psychologically rigorous as this play is for the actors.
Right, it is so immersive. I've never even heard of something like this before studying up on this interview today. So what do y'all hope that people take away from something like this that's different?
That's a really great question. And I've been sitting with that kind of since deciding to do it, I was actually invited to come back to the National Park Service after working with them for a number of years, and was thinking about this piece a lot and asking myself that same question. And I think one of the things that surprisingly I'm really interested in is audiences taking away a reminder to really take care of their relationships and the things that are most precious, because we see in a really, really brutal and gruesome way what happens when we are entirely self-serving. I also think that this play is often treated as a cautionary tale, but sort of from a distance, and that Macbeth is often treated as this kind of heartless sociopath. And the background that I have with Anne and from Shakespeare and Company is that in Lenox, Massachusetts, who is where we met each other, that Shakespeare really writes characters that are human beings, and they're multidimensional. And I think that there's a lot more opportunity to get more lessons, more meaning, and more of a personal connection if we play these characters as human beings who make terrible choices. And it's those choices that actually are their undoing. Not that they came in this way, but that evil acts beget evil acts, and fear often makes people do things they wouldn't otherwise do. So I think that's kind of one of the lessons that we can get with this play and with Shakespeare, if the characters are played in a very kind of emotional and multidimensional way, is that they're humans just like us, and the future is not foretold. We have agency.